Hi there, welcome to this presentation. This is David Cameron Gikandi. I'm very grateful for your time. I honor your time, so thank you. And I'm very excited to present to you this roadmap to manifesting without fail. So let's get started. Now, orientation first. As you can see, we've got a pyramid at the bottom. In the middle, sorry. And then on the left of that pyramid, we've got a list of symptoms because the pyramid represents different levels of manifesting capability and personal growth. So that's what the pyramid is representing, different levels of manifesting capability and personal growth. That's the pyramid. On the left, you've got a list of symptoms at each level. And on the right of that pyramid, you've got the names of the levels. And then to the right of that, you've got the keys to success. In other words, what is the main single biggest thing one can do to move from one level to the other? Okay? Or to join a level, you see what I mean? So the keys to success for each level. All right, let's get started. Now, the pyramid itself, first of all, as you can notice, it's got 5 levels. And at the very bottom, we've got the biggest level. That means most people are at this level. On the planet, most people are at this level, at the bottom. Now, the name of that level, the very bottom level, is called, at least I'm calling it the fragmented level, because that is pretty much where a person is internally. At that level, a person is fragmented internally. And I'm not making this up. This is actually in psychology and psychiatric circles. There is such a thing as being fragmented. I'll give you a quick example. You've seen a schizophrenic person, somebody who with schizophrenia, they got multiple personalities or multiple personality disorder. That's like the most obvious sign of somebody who's fragmented. But in reality, pretty much almost everybody on the planet is fragmented, maybe just not as bad as somebody who's schizophrenic or somebody with a multiple personality disorder. Now, what do I mean by fragmented? It means we've got so many layers of masks and personas and conditioning and layers upon layers upon layers of different parts and pieces. Some of them are in conflict with each other, some of them don't cooperate, some of them are trying to get something done, and another part of you is trying to sabotage that same thing. So human beings are generally fragmented, okay? And the fragmentation starts pretty much at conception. So there's a long story behind that, and in psychology circles of psychiatric circles, there are big explanations of how that fragmentation happens, and also in spirituality circles, there are big explanations of why fragmentation happens. So we're not going to cover it here in this short video. The important thing that I want to communicate is that at that level, somebody who's fragmented is generally going to struggle with manifesting. And manifesting is going to appear chaotic and foggy. They're going to feel like a victim. Their power of manifesting is going to be quite low. In other words, they cannot predictably create the results that they want in their life. That's hence they feel like victims. And the way to succeed, you see the keys to success? The way to succeed at staying in this level is to stay lost. So this kind of person really needs to learn new things quickly to get unlost, because it's very hard to guide yourself out of a state of being lost. You sort of need a mentor or a guide, or you need new information that is not presently with you, because without it, you're lost. So the way to get unlost, obviously, is to start studying, to start understanding what is it you're missing, to become aware, what is it that I don't know, that I don't even know, that I don't know. Just in other words, you start becoming competent of your incompetence. You start becoming aware that, okay, I'm missing XYZ, I need to go get it. So I stop being fragmented, so I stop struggling, so things stop appearing chaotic and foggy. Now, at that level, the symptom of somebody at that level is frustration and overwhelm. Everything just feels too difficult, overwhelming. Things feel frustrating because they cannot get predictable results. They cannot, sometimes manifesting works, but most of the time it doesn't, or whatever. So that's the bottom level where most people are, the fragmented level. Now let's go up one more level. The next level above that is the connected. It's a level where somebody is actually starting to get connected. Now, I want to be careful here with this explanation. What do we mean by connected? By connected, we mean connected with the divinity within, connected with the with the universe, you could say. It's kind of hard to explain this because we're using a one graph to try and explain a whole bunch of things. But what I mean by that is that a lot of us don't even think that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? We don't even consider where does spirit fall into all of this, or how is the rest of life made? Like, for example, if you're looking outside your window now, there might be a tree out there, there might be, a cat, a car, there's obviously clouds, there's, the earth, the ground. What's all this made of? And how does it work? Like, how am I connected to the whole universe? How am I connected to divinity? How am I connected to the universe? How am I connected to life? What is the fabric of reality made of? How does it function? Below the visible surface, what you see, what your eyes are telling you you're seeing, what your ears are telling you you're hearing, what your mouth telling you you're tasting. What is the underlying fabric? Like, what is the magic and the mystery that drives all this reality that we're calling life? And how am I connected to it? What is my relationship to life, larger life? Okay, that means includes divinity, includes spirit, includes the quantum nature of reality. So these are the constructs of life. Yeah, the construct. So if you look under the label that says keys to success, it says there construct awareness. So once you start exploring the construct of your reality, that includes the greater aspect of you, including the divinity that you're part of, the spirit, the spirit realm that you're part of, the quantum nature of reality that you're part of. You start becoming construct aware, and your worldview changes. It expands. You start to realize, oh my God, I've got these powers, that powers. Oh my God, this is how things work. This is how solid things that I always thought were solid and mechanical. Oh, underneath they're actually quantum and multidimensional. Oh my God, I'm actually connected to reality through through energy, through vibrational resonance, things like that. So once you start understanding the construct of life beyond what you're told in school, because in school we all go to school, we all get lied to big time. They don't teach us anything there except how to get a job in an industry. The education system that we've got today is a Prussian innovation. We're talking Prussia, Germany, before it was called Germany, it was called Prussia. There used to be a big military empire. Well, a substantial military empire. They were the Prussian Empire. And they came up with the education system we use today, mainly to kind of condition people to be obedient soldiers. And then later it was taken up, I believe, by the British Empire when they came up with the Industrial Revolution, and they modified it slightly to make people ready for jobs in industry. So you can understand that the education we get in school is okay if you just want to get a job, but it's absolute shit if you want to really master life. So one thing we don't learn in there is construct awareness. We're not aware of what's really going on. The only thing they teach us is mechanical stuff that will help us get jobs in an industry, but they don't teach you the actual grand mystery of life. Okay, so this is very important to learn to become a master manifester, to become construct aware, to become aware of the construct that you live in. You see, and this is what we call awakening. You start to awaken to yourself, you start to awaken to the larger aspect of life, you start to understand what's going on, okay? And at this level, the symptoms of somebody who is starting to awaken is they start to get excited. They're really excited. You bump into somebody who's starting to awaken, they're super excited. They're like, oh my God, I just discovered amazing stuff. I didn't know life was like this. Why didn't anybody tell me? But then there's a bit of confusion because this stage of awakening literally makes you have to drop the old beliefs about reality and adopt new ones, new grander versions and visions of reality. Awakening literally is like, it's a process that wakes you up from the hypnosis of mass culture, the way you've been conditioned by your society in very limiting ways, the way your grandmother or your mother or your father or whatever told you this is how life works. You kind of have to get rid of that, and sometimes it's difficult because people are very attached to what their mother, their father, their grandparents, their society, their culture told them is true. And in a way, you gotta like get rid of that shit, you know, because it's messing you up. So awakening feels quite confusing yet exciting. Now at that stage, the manifesting power starts to improve. So it comes from being chaotic and foggy. It starts to work a bit better, but it's still a little bit unpredictable, but at least it's starting to work better, you know. And again, the key to success to be in this level is to start become construct aware. And again, that is through study. We're going to get to the next level now, which is being embodied, the embodied level. Now, let me do my best to try and explain this. So being embodied is a bit similar to being connected, but it's more about you now as an individual. So remember how we said at the bottom, one is fragmented. Now, internally, we have things that are commonly referred to as baggage or blockages, okay? These are the ways we've either, you know, as we're growing up, we got conditioned in limiting ways, and we got, let's say, punished and rewarded for you know, so that we can be so-called civilized or cultured or socialized in a particular way. And through that process, what happened is a lot of our needs were shamed, a lot of our powers, you know, the power to perceive, the power to be joyful, the power to whatever, to think, blah, 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 to feel. A lot of our powers were shamed, you know. Our needs were also shamed and shut down. Powers were shamed and shut down. This happens to everybody, some more than others, but it happens to everybody. Some to extreme levels, some to whatever, but it happens to everybody. So needs shamed, powers shamed, freedoms to exercise those powers shamed and shut down. Quick example. Little kid, all excited, discovers, I don't know, whatever, and he's all excited about that, but then the parent, for some weird reason, maybe the parent is uncomfortable with what the kid discovered. So the kid is joyful about a new discovery, little kid, and the parent notices this kid playing with his new discovery. It could be anything, you know, just you've watched kids and you've watched parents, and then the parents goes ahead and screams at that child and bloody punishes them and whatever. So that child all of a sudden starts to realize, oh my God, if I want to be accepted by my parent, I better shut this aspect of me down. And then that creates a fragment. It creates like a lost self, like it's kind of like a divorced part of yourself, or maybe through school, maybe through society, maybe through whatever. We live in a world that we are born into a story that is already ongoing, and this story of this world has a lot of limitations, a lot of broken aspects, and so we pick all that shit up and then we try and live with it, you see? And it gets worse the older we get, because we start to forget who we really are, and we sort of adopt this mass consciousness that is sort of forced upon us. So, you know, we divorce huge aspects of ourselves to be able to fit into this society. Now, being embodied is reclaiming those divorced aspects of yourself, bringing them back, owning them again, you know, integrating them, becoming more and more whole. So that's why we are calling it embodied. Literally, you're coming, it's like a homecoming, coming back to yourself, you know, recovering your lost emotions, you recovering your lost needs, recovering your lost powers, recovering your lost freedoms. You know, you become more and more embodied in your body. You know what I mean? You're no longer like escaping into the past and, you know, escaping to the future, or you're no longer escaping into your mind or escaping into, do you know what I mean? Like you've all the powers that you gave away, all the bits and pieces of yourself that you shut down, you're recovering them, okay? And you're becoming whole. And the more that happens, and by the way, how do you do that? You do it through a process of self-awareness. As you can see, keys to success here, self-awareness. So it's through self-awareness, and obviously there's other techniques, you know, including mindfulness and all that, but that whole thing, we can call it, you become more self-aware, and your self-view becomes bigger, grander, you know, until you finally drop the false sense of self, the fragmented one, and you embody this new, your true self that was always there but was covered by all this noise, all this conditioning, all those fears, all those whatever. So in other words, you're getting back your true self and you become embodied. Now, at this level, you start to feel more peaceful, because the inner conflicts, the civil war that was going on inside you, some of it you were not even aware of. You just felt maybe shitty, and you didn't know that was because of those parts of you inside you that were in conflict and so on. They've all settled down. They're all feeling safe. They're all feeling peaceful. They've all calmed down. They've all started getting together and all that. And so you have this peace that starts to embody you, a peace that starts to surpass all understanding. You just don't know why, but you're okay with life. So, and then your manifesting power increases again, because you no longer have as many parts of you that are causing subconscious sabotage or subconscious chaos, or subconsciously attracting what you don't actually want. So this is a very big topic, but I'm just trying to summarize it. So because of that increasing wholeness, your manifesting power goes up, and it starts to become a bit more predictable. It's not fully predictable yet, so it's a bit of, there's irregularity there, but you're starting to see why is it irregular. You can see, okay, I'm really good at manifesting these kind of things, but these other kind of things, I'm a bit irregular, but I can start to see why, because my self-awareness has grown. I can start to see my internal obstacles, my internal baggage and blockages. I can start to see the triggers, the patterns that happen, and how I lose my shit or whatever, and or stick in my comfort zone or fail XYZ, whatever. You start to know yourself. Yeah. So this self-awareness is a whole other thing. Okay, but you start to realize why your manifesting may have been failing before, because now you're aware of the internal aspects of you that were creating the realities you didn't want. So you start to realize, oh my God, the law of attraction has been working the whole time, 24/7, works perfectly without fail, but I've had bits and pieces inside me that were attracting what I didn't want, or were sabotaging what it is that I wanted. Okay, and now the symptom of somebody at that level is that they're starting to have their awareness come back, they're starting to have clarity, yet they still have some aspects that are blocked. They still have some baggage to deal with, but it's getting better and better and better. Cool? All right, so the next level is grounded, the grounded level. And here when we say grounded, I know a lot of these things almost sound similar: connected, embodied, grounded. They almost sound like they could be interchanged, but there are some subtle differences. Now, when you're grounded, it means, think about it this way. Let's say if you had a vision, if you had something you wanted to create, okay? That is something, it's a vision. It's not yet a material reality. So to make it a material reality, you've got to ground it into this physical realm, okay? So you've got to take it from the non-physical, from the thought form, immaterial realm, and then ground it into the physical. For that, you need to be able to, keys to success, you need to be able to have crystal clear vision, okay? Organized vision. So you got to know what you want, but the more crystal clear it is, the better. And then you have to be able to take effortless action. So I'm not saying, we're not talking about struggling and hard work here. It's more like inspired action. What that does mean, it means you need to be, when the opportunity comes, you strike. You don't wait. There's no procrastination. There's no whatever. And then there's no over-efforting, yet there's also no shying away and fearing. So you see, this can only work if you've gone through the embodied self-awareness stage we talked about before, and you have less and less obstacles inside you, blockages, less baggage. Because with obstacles, with blockages and baggages within you, you're not going to take effortless action. You're going to procrastinate, you're going to freak out, you're going to fail to see the action to be taken, or you'll overdo something, it's not going to be smooth. So being able to combine vision with effortless action, it's very important. It's a huge aspect of being grounded, the ability to ground vision, okay? To ground an idea, the ability to ground an idea relies on you, the ability to crystallize that vision, create it into organized thought, take effortless, inspired action, because life is going to bring things to you, opportunities to act, talk to this person, do this, do that, go here, whatever. You got to be able to do that without freaking out of pausing or overdoing whatever. And that's called Wu Wei, effortless action, whatever. So the more you become grounded, the more, in other words, you're not free, you have very little fear between you and the material reality, because quite often it's like what you think of yourself and what you think of your as your material reality. Sometimes we put fear in between those two things, and it makes us pause or hesitate or stop, and that screws the manifestation, obviously. So now at that level, one experiences thriving because they're able to boom, get things done, without getting in their own way. So they're thriving, and their manifesting starts to become predictable, starts to become predictable. Very cool stuff. The power is going up, as you can see. Now there's very few obstacles and there's very little things you can't do, so you now start being able to predict, oh yeah, I'm going to create this, boom, it's going to come. You may not know exactly when, how, where it's going to come. So there's still a mystery, but you have this level of faith and confidence that, one or another, in a way you thought, or in another way that the universe thinks is better, the thing is going to show up, or the thing's going to happen, or whatever. So the symptoms of somebody at that level is they are more relaxed. They're also more fulfilled, of course, because things are happening, right? And they're also more powerful, and they can feel it. You see, the whole victim thing goes out the window. Cool. Now, the next level up is where the person has become unitive. We call it unitive from the word unity, but it more means oneness, oneness with self, oneness with life. Oneness is so hard to describe. And by the way, I'm just going to tell you this real quick. Our material cannot, let me not lie to you, cannot take you to oneness. That's kind of like a stage where it is the spirit within you that's going to take you there. So what we teach is we deal with the connected, embodied, grounded stages. We can help you a lot with that, connected, embodied, grounded. And we may not be able to help everybody who's in the fragmented, but you're welcome to give it a go. Some people are going to get it, some people are not going to get it. Fragmented can be a hard place to get out of, because some people are so fragmented that they wouldn't know enlightenment if it bit them in the ass. I mean, sometimes it's that bad. So I don't want to make a promise that I can get you from fragmented to connected. I may or may not. I don't know. Our material may or may not. But we are very good at getting people deeper connected, deeper embodied, deeper grounded. Either through our own material or through material we reference people to or refer people to. We're very good at those three stages. But once you've reached grounded, now to get into oneness, sort of you're not on your own, but you're with your divinity. Your divinity kind of like takes that, you walk with your divinity there. I don't know of anyone who can take you there. Like what I mean? There's a part where you sort of like have to walk the walk yourself. Okay. So I just wanted to clear that up. So, but anyways, how you get there, you'll get there. Once you're grounded, once you're connected, embodied, grounded, you'll just feel this magnetic pull starting to take you towards oneness, and you'll figure it out. Don't worry, and divinity will also guide you, so you don't really need to know how. But in any case, the key to success at that level, again, it's embracing oneness. The level is called unitive, or whole, or self-actualized. Those are the things that are happening at that level. At that level, somebody feels just bliss. Like really a peace that surpasseth all understanding. A peace that is there regardless of what's happening. Even when things are going crazy, ape shit, whatever, there's this acceptance and bliss and I don't know. Life still goes on, normal life, but there's a quality of it whereby it's kind of like just all of it seems like a miracle and it's blissful. You see what I mean? So, and then manifesting is at its highest. Now this is where it's without fail. And at that level, it is on demand. We say manifesting is on demand because there's almost no, one is so unified with life. It's almost as if one's own goals cease. Like, at the lower levels, we have goals, we have targets, we got things we want to do, we got all these plans. At that very top level, like all the goals, all the plans, everything disappears and you're sort of just spontaneous. You sort of literally, your mind is the universe's mind. Your desire is the universe's desires. So everything is sort of on demand, it's instant, and you're fine. You're very, here, look at the symptoms. You're very present and you're in the flow. You're present and in the flow. So I hope that makes some sense. That should give you a roadmap. If you have any questions, please do ask. So generally, all our programs, we got lots of programs. All our programs are designed to take you through these stages. So wherever you are, you could be in embodied, and or you could be, whatever you are. We got programs for different stages, and we keep adding to them, and we keep, over time evolving ourselves and making ourselves better and better and better and better for you. But generally, that's why we have heaps of programs, or a club, or a membership club, whatever, with many programs inside, and they're designed to take you level to level to level to level. It's taken me about 20 something years to put all this together, so I hope you do find it useful. But before we close this video, I'd like to say that I hope you can see now that manifesting is a growth path, okay, to holistic, to being whole. It's a holistic growth path whereby you end up being whole, and it's, I don't know how else to say. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I hope you realize now that manifesting is not a trick. Like a lot of people think, oh, I've been visualizing the Ferrari, why didn't it come? So that's a trick. Visualization, yes, it is a tactic within manifesting. You gotta visualize. So we're not saying it doesn't work, but it's not the end all and be all. You know what I mean? It's a tool in the toolbox. Visualizing is a tool in the toolbox. It is not the end all and be all. You can't just say, oh, manifesting is all about visualizing. No, it's not a trick. Okay? It's manifesting is not the trick. It's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you gotta get out of, if you're in that position whereby you're thinking, why is the law of attraction not working for me? Why is manifesting not working for me? I'm visualizing, I'm kind of, doing the whole feel it real thing. I'm doing my affirmations, I'm writing my goals and everything. That's kind of like using the tricks and expecting everything to work. It's not a trick. Think of it this way. Don't learn the tricks, learn the trade. The whole trade. Don't learn the tricks of the trade, learn the trade. Don't learn the tricks of the trade, learn the trade. That's how you become a super powerful manifester. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you can see that there's method to the madness, and it's a system, and you can't trick the system. It's like manifesting is an emergent thing. Manifesting actually is always happening, but you're always manifesting whatever it is you are. So if you're fragmented, your manifesting is happening, but it's fragmented. You know what I mean? If you're whole, the manifesting is happening in whole. You see what I'm saying? It's like manifesting is always happening. Everybody's manifesting 24/7. The law of attraction is working 24/7. You don't have to do a trick to turn it on. You don't even need to know how to manifest. Manifesting is an inbuilt facility of every human being, even every creature. All creatures manifest. Even your dog is manifesting. You know what I mean? Like your cat is manifesting. The fish is manifesting. It is nature fulfilling itself. So nature fulfilling the desires of creation, that is manifesting, and it's happening 24/7 automatically. The minute as long as you've got energy, that energy is interacting with the energy of the universe, and it is creating reality. Both at a conscious level, at a subconscious level, at an unconscious level. You are a very vast being, and you're manifesting 24/7, most of the time at layers you're not even aware of. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that gives you inspiration to learn the trade instead of learning the tricks of the trade. Thank you for your time.